As a former school principal and teacher myself, I can only imagine the grief, not only of staff, but of the kids. The kids and that community will be deeply affected by this.
Manitoba's Education Minister has been absent in the death of two educators that has rocked a school community here in Winnipeg, and the opposition NDP says the silence from government is deafening.
As a leader for public education in Manitoba and in all schools in Manitoba, the minister needs to come out publicly and join in the mourning of these two school leaders.
You can find flowers laid outside the school as over the winter break, Ecole JB Mitchell lost both Megan Wolfe, a well-loved educator at the school, and its principal, Paulette Huggins. These two deaths sending shockwaves through the community. The Winnipeg Teachers Association acknowledged both of the deaths on Twitter, but did not provide specifics on the cause. But the Winnipeg Free Press reported Wolfe died as a result of COVID-19. Quote, the Winnipeg Teachers Association is saddened to hear that the JB Mitchell community has suffered another tragic loss with the passing of the school's principal. To our members, please remember there are supports available through MB Teachers, Humanicare, or Keystone Counseling, end quote. While members of Huggins' family were not ready to do an interview Saturday, they say the principal was a well-loved educator who would do anything for her family and her students. The deaths have been reported on publicly, with an outpouring of support for both of the educators' families, but Manitoba's Education Minister has not acknowledged either, with his last public message made on December 22nd, 2021. For Altamore, he feels this is typical for this government.
They have not been leading when people need leaders, and that piece is certainly evident in the past few days and what's been happening here at JB Mitchell School.
City News requested an interview with Minister Cullen about the death Saturday, but it was not accommodated despite hours of notice. However, in a statement, Cullen said, quote, I offer my condolences to the family, friends, students, and colleagues of Paulette Huggins and Megan Wolfe. I want to thank all teachers and staff in their continued dedication to Manitoba students, end quote. Cullen has also been absent for questions from reporters who were trying to get answers on whether or not the January 10th return to school date would stand. That's after the Manitoba Teacher Society, which represents more than 16,000 educators, asked to have students go remote for January, and the Winnipeg School Division 1, the province's largest, asked for the province to go to Code Red, which would see students go online. WSD board chair said in a letter to government that the situation is a dire one. Quote, COVID-19 is raging out of control in our school communities. It appears that the provincial government is ignoring the advice of experts and continuing in their failure to act in response to this crisis. Altamare says with a situation so dire, information, guidance, and the province's planned path forward is needed.
Right now, in an absolute vacuum of information, we need somebody to step forward, be it the Premier or the Minister of Education.
Previous statement on the ask for remote learning, Cullen said government is working with Manitoba Teachers Association and Winnipeg School Division 1 through its COVID-19 response planning team on the return to school, saying that Manitoba education and public health continue to balance the need for structured school settings and the spread of COVID. In Winnipeg, Morgan Majeski, City News.